Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be talking about, again, The Simpsons Tapped Out, as usual, as I like to talk about, because it just gets me tons of views. No, that's not the real reason, but it's one of them. Basically, after level 60, we kind of got the last ever level, so to speak. Although, obviously, it does go prior, we only really get, some awful looking level up things, and that's about it. And some people have been asking me, is this the end of Tapped Out? A lot of people on forums are saying it's the end of Tapped Out, and so we're just going to discuss what I think is going to happen with Tapped Out now. What I think is going to happen, in terms of characters that haven't been added yet, and buildings that haven't been added yet, and the basic future of Tapped Out. What do I think is going to happen? So first off the bat, I just want to say I don't think it's ending, and honestly, the main reason I don't think it's going to end is because of money. Now, the reason I think we ended the levels is because The Simpsons, even The Simpsons is limited for characters. The Simpsons has tons and tons of characters in it, and it's a huge universe. But if they keep on doing these regular levels that they were doing, they were going to run out. They were going to run out way too quickly. Now, what I do think is going to happen is they're going to give us events. They're going to give us Halloween. They're going to give us Christmas. They'll give us, they'll give us like other things like like the Twilliger update, or the Wild West updates we got now. They'll give us stuff like the Casino updates like that. They'll give us creative, I say creative updates. I'll call them creative updates for now, but they'll give us creative updates. They might give us like an episode update, like the Stonecutters, a whole sort of update centered around one episode and one idea, and I like those ones. They always tend to be the best ones. The ones that the Whacking Day and Stonecutters, they were definitely the better of the updates. But yeah. So what I think should happen is, what I think is going to happen even is they'll give us past the Wild West. There'll probably be maybe a break. We'll probably get a few little minor sort of things like the spaceship, like the NASA spaceship thing, and the fire truck, firehouse, and the tree. They'll probably give us one of them, and then I think there's probably going to be another big update for the summer that's going to take up most of the summer, and then I think after that we'll be looking at sort of Halloween coming up. There'll likely be two. I don't think there'll be two events actually in the summer. There'll probably be one event and some of those kind of smaller little ones as well that will kind of fill up a week or so. That's what I'll imagine happen, and then we'll come on to Halloween. We'll have Halloween again. There's so much stuff they can add for Halloween. Don't worry. There's also so many characters I can think of. But the main reason I think Tapped Out ended the levels is, like I said, the characters are just running out. I mean, the only sort of big-ish characters that I can think of that they haven't added is literally Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure. I mean, there are others. There's Krusty's dad, and there's other ones. But the problem with that is obviously those two are a bit not Krusty's dad, Lionel Hutz and Troy McClure. They're a bit of an iffy one. I don't think they're gonna add them just because of the whole. The actor was murdered, so I think it was like out of respect they retired the characters. I don't know. Obviously they just don't have voice, and that'll be fine. But I'm not too sure if they will, because it's kind of reviving the characters. I mean, they've never been in any other games, so I don't know about that one. But it'd be cool to see them. I would like to see them, and I will be doing ideas. I'll still be doing ideas, by the way. That's another thing I want to mention just real quick. This video is a bit all over the place, I do apologise, but I will be doing still be doing my ideas for a bit. Now I've already sort of planned out some. I don't really want to just delete those ideas and just get rid of them, so I'll do those ideas, and once I've done them, don't send me any more, because I'm not going to do any more. I'll specify that in that one, but I'm not going to do any more of those particular ideas, because those particular ideas were based around levels. What I will take in though is event ideas. Actually, to be fair, still leave your character suggestions, because I'll just try and put them in an event, but don't expect them to come up in the next sort of few videos, just because I'm going to have to try and come up with events and stuff. And that's what we'll do on this channel now in terms of ideas. We'll try and come up with some events, and we'll you know, we'll get the brain rattling, get some creativity in there. Obviously, recently I did the EPA idea. I still think that would be a really good idea. The Simpsons movie, they do have the rights to that, so they can. And obviously, we've already seen that they've added one character, that's Spider Pig. They've already Plopper, or whatever his name is. They've added the pig anyway from the movie, so I don't see why they can't make a whole update about it. And it'd be pretty cool. So yeah, I do imagine we'll be seeing events very shortly after the Wild West one ends. Obviously, the Wild West one's pretty much ended now. Act 3's out, and I've got the majority of the stuff. The Duff Gardens did actually grow a bit because you can actually unlock some other little things. But honestly, looking actually at the episode where it's shown, there's so many, like, I see what they've added. They basically added the entrance to Duff Gardens. They haven't added the rides in the back and all that. So I guess in a sense they could still add some of those rides, but I just don't see it really. It would have been nice to actually add even that like archway, even the entrance. It would have been nice even if they just added that to Krusty Land, but I guess Krusty Land is kind of dead, which I'd like them to do. I'd actually really like a part 2 to Krusty Land. I think that would make a really cool event. I have done an idea on that in the past. I've kind of gone through all the things they should add. If you want to go see that, please do look back. I could do an updated top 10 buildings, but there's only been about 3 or 4 that have actually been added into the game. Even though that video is only a year old, they still haven't added some of the buildings I want to see. They added the Red Blazer Realty, and they added obviously They added the Duff Gardens, and they added the Presidential Estate, which was like really that's another thing that pisses me off. But anyway, I'm rambling. So yeah, just to kind of go back over the question. No, I do not think Tapped Out is over. It's EA, guys. Come on, it's EA. And the reason I say it's EA is because I'm not trying to be funny, but EA are very money enthusiastic. Well, the whole point of Tapped Out is it's a microtransaction game. The reason it's free on the App Store is they expect you to go buy donuts, and that's the only reason it's free. It's because of the sort of microtransactions that you can make, and they don't give you anything physical. They give you a building in a virtual world, but that's how they make their money. And like I said, they want to stretch this game, this idea. It's been grossing. It's been the top 50. It's been in the top 50 grossing for years, since it probably began, I imagine. They're gonna want to stretch this out as much as possible, and to do that, they had to get rid of the levels. It was just inevitable. They have to get rid of the levels because they want events, and they want to drag the shit out of this till they've added every single character that's even had a second of screen time, and every single building that we saw for a brief millisecond. They will add everything, and then they will stop. So no, it's not game over yet, guys. It's not game over. Alright, anyway, guys, that's it. Sorry for rambling a little bit, but yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. I'll see you next video. Goodbye.